Let me ask you something. Have you ever spent the entire day studying, felt completely drained, and still walked into an exam knowing you probably didn't do enough? That feeling is brutal because you did work hard, you gave time, you sacrificed sleep. So why didn't it pay off? Here's the uncomfortable truth no one tells students. Most of what you study doesn't matter nearly as much as you think. Not because you're lazy, not because you're incapable, but because school never teaches you how results actually work. There's a principle called the 80-20 rule. It says that 80% of results come from 20% of effort. In daily life, you already see this. You wear 20% of your clothes most of the time. You use 20% of apps for almost everything. School works the same way. 20% of the topics give you 80% of your grades. But no teacher ever says, don't study everything, study what matters. Instead, we're taught to grind equally through everything. And that's where students burn out. Most high-potential students fail the same way. They study everything, take neat notes, watch every lecture, feel busy all the time. But their effort is spread too thin. They confuse hard work with effective work. And school rewards effort publicly, but grades reward leverage quietly. That's why one student studies all night and barely passes, while another studies less and scores higher. They're using the 80-20 rule without even realising it. First thing you need to do, stop treating all topics as equal. They're not. Look at past papers, repeated exam questions, topics lecturers emphasise again and again. Exams are predictable. Certain concepts always return. Certain chapters carry more weight. Instead of touching 10 chapters lightly, master 2 or 3 deeply. Depth beats coverage. This alone can move your grade more than doubling your study time. Here's another hard truth. Most students study in ways that feel productive, but don't actually work. Rereading notes, highlighting pages, watching lectures on repeat, that's comfort studying. The 20% methods that give real results are active recall, practice questions, explaining concepts out loud. If you can explain it without notes, you understand it. If you can't, you don't. 1 hour of real practice beats 5 hours of passive reading, every single time. Most students don't lack time, they lack energy management. You're only fully focused for a few hours a day. That's normal. Those hours are your 20%. That's when you should study difficult topics, do problem solving, work on assignments. Low energy time? Light revision, admin work, organisation. When you protect your best hours, studying stops feeling impossible. You don't need a perfect routine. You need a few non-negotiables. For most students, the 20% habits are enough sleep, a consistent study start time, a weekly review of what actually matters. That's it. Burnout doesn't come from working hard. It comes from working hard on things that don't move the needle. The 80-20 rule isn't about being lazy. It's about being intentional. It teaches you to think before you grind, choose leverage over exhaustion, study smarter without guilt. Once you understand this, school becomes manageable. Not easy, but fair. Here's what I want you to do tonight. Pick one subject. Ask yourself, what's the 20% here that gives most of the results? Find it. Focus on it tomorrow. Just that. You don't need to do more. You need to do what matters. Let's stop glorifying burnout. Let's start building smart discipline. We're not behind, we're just learning leverage. Let's level up together.